All right, so in today's lesson, and I just kind of want you to watch, okay, and then I'll give you the notes that are needed. All right, so as I explained before, this is the splash screen. Okay, we've discussed all these links over here, what this area is, and then of course what learn is. So if I was to go into, if I click on this icon here, it'll take me a thing called the workspace, okay? And that's exactly what we're going to study. It's called the workspace, okay? And so, first things first. First of all, everybody should have the toolbar on the left-hand side. Anybody here not have a toolbar? Okay? So the first thing about the toolbar, and if I can try to get that on there, I don't know why it's not going in there. Okay. So let me try this. There we go. Okay. So the first thing about the toolbar is, if you look at this, it's got these little grip lines. See this right here? These little grip lines. You may not be able to see it. But with that, first of all, everybody click on the Photoshop. Okay, let's get into the workspace. Okay, you can just go to preset 1 if you want. It's not important. But okay, so here is the grip. So if you grab it, you can actually put it into, there you go, see? Now, I don't have a, so let me go back here, and let me go to new file, let me go to saved, and let's go to preset 1. Okay, there it is. Now if you notice, I can actually put the toolbar right there. One thing I want you to understand is that you can bring this toolbar as a floating device, or you can just leave it alone, leave it on the left hand side. So everybody take it out, put it right next to the canvas right there. Okay? And now I'm going to show you how to put it back. Okay? And this is going to work with just about everything in Photoshop. So if you drag it and watch the cursor or your mouse as opposed to where the toolbar is, you'll notice that it'll turn blue. Okay? Just slightly, okay? When the mouse, the head of the mouse, the cursor clicks on that area and it turns blue, and then you let go. There it is. Okay? So everybody try it. Okay? I kind of like it like this, right about here. It's just less movement for the mouse on the wrist, you know, things like that. The other thing is that you guys notice this area right here, these two arrows. Bless you. If you click on these arrows, you will have a double space toolbar. See that? It gets a little shorter. Okay, it works a little bit better. Some of you may prefer this. It's up to you. I will be teaching this class with an elongated single column. Okay, single column toolbar. Again, it's strictly up to you how you want to use it, but I will be using this. Okay, where all these tools are. Okay, so if we go back to the notes. Okay, so here it is. A toolbar can be double column or single column. So you may want to write that. Then using grip lines, the toolbar move. Okay, I'm going to put use the grip lines to move toolbar out of workspace, and then you then use the same grip lines to move it back. So these are the three you want to copy. Okay, hopefully you guys are good at keyboarding. I don't know. If not, take Infotech 104. We learn keyboarding there. Okay, teach you how to be good. Alrighty. So once toolbar can be double column or single column. It could be, and it should be column, not columned. Okay. Use the grip lines, which is this guy right. And you don't have to do the screenshot. Okay. To move the toolbar out of the workspace. Okay. And then grip lines to move it back to the left side. Okay, look for the blue. Look for the blue. Okay, it is now 105. I'll give you till 107. All right, so we just went ahead and talked about Windows tools, okay? That shows and hides the toolbar. Once again, I'll go ahead and show it again. So go to Windows and then go to Tools. It hides it. But let me show you this also. Windows, let's click back, Windows Tools. Press the Tab key. Press the Tab key and see what happens. Look at that. It makes everything disappear. It cleans up, gives you a lot, so you can focus just on the canvas. Let's click on the tab key again, and it reappears. Okay? Tab. Okay? And then we talked about the options. Okay, so again, the toolbars have different options. See that? So you click on that. So an option, as we said, the notes is an expansion of the toolbar tools, and then the lower right of the arrow in the lower right. Here we go. Got all this. And you got all this. Okay. So at any rate, that's what we have. Okay. And now we are on number edit toolbar. Okay. So how does Photoshop know to have these toolbars? Okay, so let's go to Edit, all the way down to Toolbar right here, okay? Edit. Okay, we got, first of all, remember we have an Apple icon on the upper left. Then the name of the application. I might give you a test on this. Then we go to File, and then we go to Edit. Okay, so we go all the way down to Toolbar. And you'll get this little funny thing here. So if you recall, okay, so some of you might actually have, let me just really do it with you, don't mind. You probably have all four of these. You have the rectangular, you have the elliptical, you have the single column or the single row. Am I correct? Okay, most of you have that. So I have never really ever used a single column. Okay, to me that's just kind of a, okay, what do I do with this? So what I'm going to ask you to do is grab this and move it to the right side. And then grab single row and do the same thing. But here's the thing. If you put it here, you don't want it separate. You want it together. So you want to kind of drag it. And again, the blue line, okay, there it is. So you kind of want it under one block. Alrighty. And by the way, if it doesn't have the letters M, go ahead and click on this right side and type in the letter M, okay? Same thing with both, if it's not there, okay? Because what we're doing, if you notice, all these are in the same family. See, this is the lasso tool set, okay? This is the selection. What's up? What's the question?
What's that? Is that for number 7?
Yes. So Edit Toolbar allows you to set up the toolbar with specific tools. So you're not going to be using a lot of these tools. Okay, we simply don't have the time in the semester to go over all the tools, but we'll go over the common ones. Okay, so that's basically what it is. So the toolbar, the Edit tool right here, number 7, okay, allows to set up the toolbar with specific tools. All right, so we go over here, back, okay. Now, if you have Artboard, somewhere, move it to the right. And we'll go over again what's going to be moved to the left and what's going to be moved to the right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that, but notice how everything's grouped together. See, all the W's, all the C's, and all the I's, okay? And there's good reason for that. And then once you're done, go ahead and press done. All right, and now you'll see on the left-hand side, on the toolbar, okay, when you press and hold the arrow here, you'll notice that it should only be rectangular and elliptical. If not, then you didn't pay attention, okay? So let me know otherwise, I can do it again, okay? But basically you should all have that, all right? And if you haven't copied the note, okay? Okay, on the right side, number 8, the right side we have window section with additional tools, okay? Or widgets, or palettes, whatever you want to call. And what I mean by that is this oops, you can ignore this one, sorry. Okay, so basically, this area right here. Now, you might be looking at something like this. Let me go here. Hold on a second, let me figure this out. Okay, so you guys might have something like this, Okay, check your Photoshop. Anybody have something different? Okay, but it might look something at least mostly like this. These are called the windows. Okay, and let me go ahead and give you the definition. Okay, right side we have Windows section. We have the Windows section that is with additional tools. So there's a brush tool, there's a color tool, there's this tool, and there's a whole bunch of tools. Okay, so we're going to study them. There's also a tool that allows you to automate things, which is really cool. So hopefully, the right side we have Windows section with additional tools. Okay. Okay, why don't I just go ahead and let you copy since you guys are impatient. All right, so then hopefully you're down here. Okay, number 15, you better agree to that. All right, I'm just going to go one by one again, and I'll bring it back again. So this is the window. Windows are movable by clicking and dragging tabs. Let's go ahead and show you. Okay, so in other words, let's do swatches right here. Now look at this. Okay, with swatches, I can actually move it from one thing to another, one place to another. See, I can go this way. I can also move it down. See, look at that. All right, there's swatches. Okay, and I can move it even further down if I want to. But I'm going to go ahead and drag this out, okay? So it becomes its own window. Everybody do that, please, okay? So once again, number 8, you can actually, windows are movable by clicking and dragging from tabs, okay? So if you already got that, if not, then I'll wait, okay? And windows are movable by clicking and dragging from tabs, okay? Okay, and the windows are arranged in groups. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, if you notice, like over here, this is color, gradients, and patterns. This is properties, adjustments. So every one of these guys right here, it's like if I was to click this out, okay, let me see if I can do this. Notice how I can click out the entire group. See that? And I can actually bring that, so now, look at that, now I've got a whole new group, and I can put it back in if I can find a place. There it is, see? So feel free to try that if you can, okay? And don't be afraid to kind of mess up, it's okay. Bless you. And so if you want to grab like this area right here, okay, and there you have it, okay? See, I'm grabbing everything, and then I'm putting it back if I can find a place. There we go. All right, so it can be movable and it can be specific to you. So, back to the swatches. Okay, I'm going to bring that out. Now, the other thing I want to show you is this little, see this little arrows here? Thank you for telling me that. I'm going to click here, and now I'm going to move it in this area right here. So I'm going to, now notice this has the grip lines as well. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this and put it right there, and there it is, okay? So I can actually use this as thumbnail. So everybody try that, please. All righty, and we'll go from there. Let's see, windows are in. Okay, so we are actually in number, I actually explained number 3, 9, 10, 11. So why don't you guys go ahead and write that. I'm sure most of you have already written it. But I'll stop for a little bit. So once again, the filter is, okay, if you find an image, go to filter. You can actually go pinch and then filter, solarize. All right, that's pretty much it, and that's the class. Okay, so submit this in, you'll get a grade for it.